Don't have any plans this weekend? Well, how about going to Sandfest? Throughout the years, if you went to Port Aransas, Sandfest is one of those great fests to where you can basically what you can do is just basically I don't know look at some beautiful sand art. As we're about to see, it's the scoop of art. Here's Aaron Harlan.
Sand, water, and glue.
When you show up next weekend, you can expect a big gallery of master sculptors who are creating these 10-foot, thousands of pound sculptures out of beach sand.
The Port Aransas Tourism Bureau and Chamber of Commerce is once again preparing for their largest native sand sculpting competition in the U.S. And all of the sand is coming straight from Port Aransas beaches.
Sandfest is the biggest signature festival we have in Port Aransas and is the biggest economic driver for us and comes at a great time during the month of April to help support the city, to help support our community and our tourism business here in Port Aransas.
The festival will start April 19th and go until the 21st on mile markers 13 to 17. Sculptors from all over the world taking the trip to our Texas coast beach.
Oh gosh, I believe we have some from Argentina, we have some from Canada, we have some from Europe. They come from everywhere. Some of them are also ice sculptors and snow sculptors. But they all absolutely love coming to Port Aransas every year for Texas Sandfest.
All the money raised from Sandfest going directly back into the community.
All they do is raise funds to give to local nonprofits as well as to fund high school scholarships.
But the weekend isn't only about sand, it's also about the live music and the festival food.
You can go to texassandfest.org to purchase a wristband for the entire weekend. An adult wristband is $30 for the whole weekend, and kids are $5.
Online tickets are on sale through Monday, April 15th. In Port Aransas, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Erin Hawley, Chris 6 News.
With a sand scoop. Alright. Ain't no need to raise common sense. I mean, Sandfest, I never went to Sandfest, but if it was, we'd be doing a show live from Sandfest. Alright, now an issue that I have, and most every child has, autism. Everyone thinks that it's a disability. Well, I'm here to tell you, up close, that autism is not a disability, but it's an ability. Don't think of autism as a disability. Think of it as an ability. It's your superpower. It's like when Peter Parker get bit by a spider, and then he had superpowers like climb walls, shoot webs. It's his power. It's your superpower. You can use that with a whole wide spectrum of talent, music, arts. It's at your fingertips and at your brain. But for one person that you're about to meet, that you'll meet tonight, he has autism, and you know what he did with it? He's speaking through
It's the most fun you can.
through the art. Yeah, we're going to have his story. We're going to have this story just a bit later, but a lot of times, let me tell you this. If you have autism, it is your superpower. Like I do. My superpower, like the autism bug bit me, and it's like your brain has a spectrum of abilities. I mean, Dr. Frank Laws, the chairman of the former Dr. Phil Advisory Board, wrote the Autism Answer, kind of like the holy Bible of autism, and it required brain scans, like looking at heavy metals in the brain. But with autism comes medication. Your medication is probably talent. That's what's inside your heart. And what's inside your heart is inside your mind. An autistic mind is full of wide range abilities that are at your fingertips. So you can choose what you want to do. Like, everybody can dream. Every person has a dream. And when you make that, and if you dream, you can make it happen. You can go out there in your work, you can go out there in the world and say that, hey, my superpower is my autism. It's not a disability, but rather an ability. A whole spectrum of talent at your fingertips. You can do whatever you want as long as you tell people that you have this disorder, your special needs. You're very special. It's who you are. And again, it's at your end. Again, it's all in your brain. That's what I said in this interview, which I am not going to play. But what I can do is give you his story. Because I'm going to tell you, this child is speaking through art. And you are about to meet this guy, this little guy, who uses his ability to just give the gift of autism, give his gift back to everyone in the community. We'll meet him next. And later on, the perfect crime. Imagine faking disability so that you can get government checks. Stay with us. Art is something that can make you heal. It can make you... It's a thing that can make you heal. And for one person that you're about to meet tonight, he used his art talent to give back to the city of Corpus Christi. And the same person ever. And as you're about to see, a superpower can be drawn with art by a pen of the brush. Here's Taylor Alanis.
On a Tuesday evening, you can often find Giovanni signs at his favorite place.
What flavor do you want?
The ice cream bar in Flower Bluff.
The crazy cookie dough?
He's really sweet. I feel like he's so easy to talk to.
But he's a little shy with strangers, especially ones with cameras.
You know, once you get to know him and you get to see his fun and creative side.
Creative and sometimes quiet, 12-year-old Gio is on the autism spectrum. One of his many gifts, painting.
Giovanni started painting when my mom passed away.
Not only was he coping with a sudden loss, Gio was often bullied.
And he got home so overwhelmed and just, I had already gotten a few calls that day at school.
To calm and distract him, his mom, Rena Signs, asked Gio to paint something for his grandmother's grave.
He had actually done some butterfly things, and that was the first time I had actually even known that he was capable of doing such beautiful things with just paint and a board.
His talent didn't go unnoticed. He was invited to sell his boards at a church market.
His art blew up out there. Like, people were asking for certain things.
Now he has customers from all over the state.
He comes all the way from Austin.
His mom says his business is also a form of speech therapy.
In order for him to sell it, he has to talk about it.
So it helps him.
So it helps him with socializing, because that is one of the biggest struggles.
He also makes sensory-friendly necklaces.
They're nickel-free and they're silicone beaded.
One person he wasn't shy about approaching was family friend and owner of the ice cream bar, Tiffany Wood.
He asked me if he could sell some stuff in my shop, and I was like, absolutely. We're happy to help support.
For Autism Awareness Month, Gio is using the money from April's sales to buy 25 sensory swings for other kids on the spectrum.
And it's basically like a pod. It gives you that self-calming, soothing.
During our interview, a customer, David Jenkins, donated $100.
Thank you.
Well, I'm buying ice cream here at the ice cream shop for my daughter. I seen his letter here, and I'm blessed to be able to donate.
With the stroke of a brush,
We actually come a long way.
Gio is painting and creating his way into people's hearts.
He likes to spread the word and just try to raise awareness as much as possible and help people as much as he can.
Well, we will have the link to Giovanni's sensory creations on our website later this morning. And guess what? Not only can he paint, Gio can play all sorts of instruments. I mean, a piano, violin, you name it. And he skateboards like a pro.
What an amazing story. Like I said, I can relate to him. Like I told you, I have autism. And I can relate to him. Music, art, it's all in the spectrum. The whole mind is all in a spectrum. There's a 60-minute story which I'm not going to play for you because CBS can definitely give me a copyright strike. This episode will be taken down and all screwed. But you have a wide range of talents at your fingertips. If you're diagnosed with autism, you have a spectrum of whole abilities. You cannot hide who you are. You cannot hide it. I was unsociable until one day a gift of music was at my fingertips. I was out there playing, and I mean, take a look. I said I wasn't going to show you, but I'm afraid that Tony Halamir would hurt me if I did not show it. I'm not playing the audio. Look. See it? That's me. That's me, what I do. For 2 years. 2 years. Now, that's what I've been doing for over 2 years. Over 2 years, that's been me. And since I've been on the spectrum, music has been a part of my life since I was a kid. I love to sing. I love to play guitar. I love to be a last resort. And I really want to thank Tony for allowing me to do this. For that story. Not playing the audio, just showing you the pic. I'm actually not playing the story. But, again, for people on the spectrum, you are who you are. Don't hide your disorder. Don't hide it. It's who you are inside. I'm a great person. I'm a good kid. Never break the rules. Never break the law. I do what I can do to help out my community in any way. You go out in the community, you show them what you can do, and just tell them, hey, I have autism. It's my superpower. It's your superpower within you. You never lose that ability. It's what's inside you. Inside a person. Inside of a child. It's what you do. And people may have, and a lot of people may bully people who have autism. It's like, hey, hey, don't be doing that to somebody. Here's one artist that gave advice to a child, Cody Johnson. He gave advice to a 6-year-old. Take a look.
Always try to do this. Can you hear me through that thing? Young man, don't you ever let somebody tell you no, you can't. This is the United States of America. Look at me. I'm living proof that you can chase whatever dream you want to chase. You go chase your dreams, buddy. Don't ever let anybody tell you no. This is the United States of America.
Chase your dreams. Don't let someone tell you no. We can all raise common sense. If people tell you no, you can't, go out there and prove them wrong. Don't ever stop. Challenge yourself. Don't ever stop. You have the power of autism in your heart. Use it. It's a gift. It's a gift you have. Use it. If you use your gift, you can prove to the world that you have this disorder and you want them to be supportive. That's what I've done. And everybody here in this community knows. Everybody in this community. This is not about pointing fingers, poking the bear. This is about, hey, if someone tells me no, I'm not going to stop. That's the key. And it won't be the perfect crime ever it won't be a perfect crime ever. And speaking of the perfect crime, can you ever imagine faking disabilities and then getting checks from the government? You're about to meet somebody who basically faked an injury to get checks from the government. And wait till you hear the surprise. Stay with us. The perfect crime. It could be taking a cookie out of the cookie jar while it's hot. My hand's on fire. Got the fire extinguisher. But what if the perfect crime? What if that perfect crime could be? What if that perfect crime could be faking injuries while getting a check from the government while you're sitting in jail? Has that ever happened to you? Tonight I'm going to give you some examples about, tell you some people who have faked their injuries, went back to work, and still got checks from the government while they were sitting in jail. Could there be any possibility to stop this? Here's Chris Wallace.
Anthony Warden was an iron worker for the Tennessee Valley Authority when he fell and injured his left knee. That was 10 years ago, but he's been on government disability ever since. Even during our interview, Warden had to stop and take a pill for his knee.
Pain is from where I'm sitting here talking to you. I can't sit in one spot for a long period of time.
You know what TVA investigators say about you?
No.
They say you're a convict. They say you're a slip and fall artist.
I think those agents can find a good job in Russia working for the KGB, because that's the type of tactics that they use.
TVA investigators have reason to doubt Warden. He had been on the job only 8 days before his injury, and since then has been paid more than $150,000 tax-free in disability benefits. To make matters worse, they discovered that before he came to TVA, Warden filed for workers' comp on 4 other jobs, including an injury to that left knee. And after TVA, even though he was on total disability, Warden went back to private construction work, reported 4 more injuries, including that knee again, and got paid every time.
Fact is, Mr. Warden, you've made a pretty good living off a bad knee, haven't you?
Off a bad knee?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking over $250,000.
These job sites are dangerous and deadly. And accidents can happen anytime, anywhere.
What really got Warden in trouble were these government forms, where he was asked if he had any outside employment. 3 times in 2 years, his answer was no. Filing a false statement is a federal crime, and Warden was sentenced to 6 months in prison. But even after going behind bars, he kept getting his disability benefits.
Explain something to me. You've been convicted of filing a false statement, in effect defrauding the system, and the government continues to pay you your full benefits. How come?
Because I'm legally entitled. I am legally disabled.
How long did I keep paying?
They should pay me to the day I die.
A primetime investigation has learned there are hundreds of Anthony Wardens, hundreds of government employees who've been sent to prison for defrauding the workers' comp program and who still receive monthly checks from the program they cheated. It's been called the perfect crime. Even when you get caught, they keep paying you.
The government is using taxpayer dollars to really reward those who have committed the crimes to begin with.
Utah Senator Orrin Hatch says he wants Congress to investigate the federal workers' compensation program, to investigate why the Labor Department doesn't cut off some convicted felons.
Do you have any sense, when you add it up, how much it's costing the government?
Well, I can give you 3 cases where it's cost the government an unnecessary $1 million. That's just 3 cases. You've got hundreds, if not thousands, of cases across the country. So you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. If there are fakes in the system, if there are bogus claims, I'd say it's less than 1%.
Larry Rogers runs the Labor Department office to decide who gets disability payments and who doesn't. He says the government does a good job of catching the cheaters. When someone is convicted of defrauding the system, what happens to the benefits?
Depending on their circumstances, they could conceivably be paid, or we may terminate benefits, depending on what we find out.
Hey, Mr. Rogers, I have to tell you that there are specific cases that we have of people who have been convicted, who have pled guilty to defrauding the system. You're still paying them.
If we have the evidence that they can work, we would terminate the benefits, and we would
But
welcome,
you
and we
haven't.
would welcome information on that.
But you haven't.
Well, we would welcome information on that. We would take action on it.
But we found a number of cases the Labor Department hasn't acted on. For instance, Martin Prosper, a former Louisiana letter carrier who says he can't work because of a 1985 knee injury. 2 years ago, postal investigators found Prosper working out with the National Guard in full battle gear, despite that bad knee. He admitted in court to filing a false statement, but Prosper is still getting $1,700 a month in full disability payments. How is it possible that someone convicted of cheating the system keeps getting paid? Well, the answer is the workers' comp program has two separate tracks. Prosecutors can prove in court that someone who is supposed to be disabled has been working and lying about it to the government. But as far as the bureaucrats at the Labor Department are concerned, the conviction doesn't matter. That worker is still disabled, as long as he can get a doctor to say so. At the Postal Service, workers' comp is big bucks. 20,000 employees get full disability payments, totaling $450 million a year. But postal inspectors complain that even when they catch a worker cheating the system, they can't cut off his benefits. Postal Inspector John Bruger.
The Department of Labor relies on the claimant's version of events. There is no opportunity for the Postal Service to present contradictory information.
But Mr. Bruger, what happens when that employee whose word you're relying on is a liar, is a cheat?
We pay.
Hey, come here. The Postal Service has been paying Thomas Kappas for 10 years now, $25,000 a year, tax-free, ever since he claimed a total disability for his back. But 4 years ago, inspectors found Kappas working at a computer store. The man with the bad back was unloading a delivery truck. Kappas admits he had a job, but says the work was sedentary.
No heavy lifting.
None whatsoever. I've never picked up anything that amounted to doodly squat the whole time I worked there.
Let me ask you about that, because the Postal Service investigators took pictures of you while you were on that job. And I mean, I got to tell you, some fairly substantial-looking boxes you're carrying.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't look too sedentary to me.
It doesn't look like it's too heavy either.
I do know that he did lift things like monitors, which weigh 30 or 40 pounds.
Barbara Cruza owns the computer store where Kappas worked. She says he wanted to be paid off the books.
He initially asked if he could be paid cash, and then when I said I could not do that, he accepted the fact that he was going to be paid with a check.
A jury convicted Kappas of filing a false statement to the government that he had no outside income. He was sentenced to 21 months in prison.
During that period of time, what happened to your benefits, your monthly benefits?
They continued.
While you were in prison?
Yeah.
Even though you were in prison for defrauding the workman's compensation system?
Yeah.
See anything funny about that?
Not really.
The Labor Department cracked down on Kappas, ordering him to repay $33,000 he got in disability checks while filing false statements. But the way it's making him pay may surprise you. The government is continuing to give Kappas $1,800 a month for his disability, and then withholds $300. And so, even though he's a convicted felon, Kappas ends up with $1,500 a month, tax-free.
In my opinion, this program is the most acceptable program for fraud that I've seen in my 20-plus years of federal law enforcement.
George Prosser, a former FBI agent, investigates workers' comp fraud for the TVA. He estimates 1/3 of TVA workers claiming disability are lying, but says even when a cheater is busted, the government gravy train rolls on.
The Department of Labor says that just because you defraud the program doesn't necessarily mean that you're able to go back to work. Although we may have demonstrated that they are back to work.
What do you think of the fact, after all the work you've done, after all the proof you have provided, that they're still getting paid?
I'm disappointed.
Well, I suspect there's another word than disappointed, isn't there?
This is a family show.
How do you think the average person watching tonight feels to discover that he is paying people $20,000, $25,000 a year tax-free who have already been convicted of defrauding the system?
If the person continues to be entitled
to the benefit, they could be paid.
One of the TDA's most frustrating cases involves Eddie Stooksbury. He's been getting disability benefits for the past 8 years, ever since he reported that he hurt his back.
Well, I'm not able to do anything, you know. I can do things, but I hurt.
Are you able to do any kind of physical?
I piddle, you know. I piddle around.
But Stooksbury was doing more than piddling when TDA investigators caught up to him. He was working as a welder and truck driver.
One particular year, I believe the company, he made for the company $80,000, $90,000.
Stooksbury's ex-wife, Becky, says he formed a company in her name to hide his income. At the same time, he was telling the government he was unemployed.
There were forms that he had to send in every 15 months, and it seemed like every time that date came around, you know, it was like he really believed that he could get away with it.
After Stooksbury was caught, he was sentenced to 4 months under house arrest, which is where we found him in Tennessee. But the government checks kept coming.
$1,400 a month, tax-free. Even though you were convicted of defrauding the system. Why should you continue to get those things?
Well, if your back was messed up like mine was, who else, why shouldn't you? You know?
We wanted to see how messed up Stooksbury's back really was. So we went out with a hidden camera. That's him in the white shirt. While under house arrest, he set up a lumber mill out back and was sawing down pine trees to build a retirement home in South Carolina. Stooksbury is 44. We found him rolling logs, lifting boards, and tossing wood.
And how laid up are you?
Well, I do pretty good as long as I don't do any, you know, try to do any lifting. A lot of bending, stupid.
But then we told Stooksbury about the secret visit we paid him.
We got some pictures the other day of you out here. And there you are, you're picking up boards, and you were lifting logs and rolling them.
Notice I stayed straight.
You were real active.
That was one of my good days.
Right here, now look at that.
A lot of people are going to be looking at those pictures and saying, we're paying that guy $1,400 a month, tax-free.
How good that doesn't.
But I mean, if you're so disabled, on your best days, you shouldn't be able to do that. So can you explain those pictures to us?
No.
This fellow that was out back of the house.
We took those same pictures to the Labor Department. Larry Rogers said he was bound by privacy restrictions.
This man look disabled to you, Mr. Rogers?
I can't discuss this.
Well, you said you wanted us to bring information.
Well, no, but
I
don't know this Mr. Stooksbury at all.
But Betty Stooksbury, the man that you're paying about $1,500 a month for being disabled.
Again, I can't respond to that.
While the Labor Department fails to act, the government disability checks keep going on. And if the government keeps it up, the cost to taxpayers for people like Eddie Stooksbury, Anthony Wharton, and Thomas Pappas will add up to more than $500,000 each.
Given the current system, how long is the TVA going to have to continue paying Anthony Wharton and Eddie Stooksbury?
There's a very good possibility, Chris, that we'll have to continue paying Eddie Stooksbury and maybe Anthony Wharton for the rest of their lives.
For the rest of their lives. There needs to be something changed in these questions. Put in parentheses. If you answer no, and we keep paying you, you will be arrested. It's not that simple. It's just being a good citizen. If you're disabled, you need. If you're disabled or have injuries and you can't work, and you put on there no, you're defrauding the system. You're costing us taxpayers a lot of money. A lot of money. And it is a lot of money you're stealing from our pockets. pockets. Alright, when we come back, inflammatory reaction all about breast silicone plants for all women. We showed you one last season from Nate Poussant. Now Chris Wallace is back again with more about the silicone gel and why these silicone implants are being busted. Stay with us. Silicone breast implants. You as a woman may have had them. Yours got busted up. You went to the doctor. But did you know about inflammatory reaction happening? What you're about to see could really be the difference between pierced silicone and even worse, deadly diseases. Once again, Chris Wallace.
There's been no remorse for what's happened. We were indispensable. We were exploited. We've been guinea pigs, and they could have cared less if we suffered or died.
Marie Walsh got silicone gel breast implants in 1969 to correct a physical deformity. With the devices, her plastic surgeon said, her bust line and her life would be normal.
And what about a possible risk, a possible downside?
He said this was a miracle. It would last forever. That you could run over with a Mack truck and it wouldn't break.
But the 45-year-old Walsh has spent the last decade picking up the pieces. The implants ruptured, silicone gel spread through her body. And over the years, she has suffered from diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and lupus.
I am here to help any other woman that experiences the same trauma that I have.
Walsh, who set up a support group for women like herself, is just one player in a controversy that strikes at the core of women's health issues and corporate ethics.
You don't know what the company's going to do.
There are personal injury lawyers like Dan Bolton, who has won multi-million-dollar judgments for 2 women against Dow Corning. He now says hundreds of women want him to take their case.
This was a company that put a product on the market, didn't test it, didn't care, and didn't take the appropriate steps to make sure it was safe.
Let's not be sensitive.
Defenders of breast implants are also mobilized. A group of plastic surgeons and breast cancer patients like Mary Fowler has sued the Food and Drug Administration. Let silicone implants back on the market.
When you lose a very valuable, very feminine part of your body, and you are denied the right to replace it, it is beyond cruel. It is beyond your imagination.
At Dow Corning headquarters in Michigan, they've shut down the manufacturing line for breast implants. But the public relations specialists have been busy, figuring out how to explain 800 pages of internal documents. The government pressured them to make public this week.
We should not only ask ourselves what it is we want to communicate, but also ask ourselves, what if someone else is looking at this memo, what questions would they be asking?
Still, whatever people ask, the head of the company's healthcare businesses, Robert Riley, is sticking to a hard line that there is no cause-effect relationship between implants and any disease.
You're saying that the fact that these women who have these implants, who've gotten these terrible diseases, is a coincidence?
Absolutely. And that's what all of the scientific data would show.
You have been selling breast implants for 30 years now, approximately. Why haven't you been able to demonstrate the safety of these implants?
I think we have been able to demonstrate that to most physicians and most scientists.
You haven't demonstrated it to the FDA.
That is correct.
I mean, the FDA has looked at all of your studies, tens of thousands of pages. They say it is inadequate and major deficiency.
I understand that's what they said, and we disagree with that.
And that may be the most disturbing part of this debate. That although up to 2 million women now have breast implants, as FDA Commissioner David Kessler said when he imposed the ban last month, the basic issues of whether silicone implants are linked to cancer or autoimmune disease are still unsettled.
30 years of use, and we still don't know the answers to these questions.
The FDA says that until it sorts all this out in the next few weeks, women with breast implants or who want them should do nothing. Obviously, if you're having any problems you think are related to implants, you should see your doctor immediately. But while the scientists are debating the safety of implants, there is another issue here. A 30-year paper trail of what Dow Corning knew and what it told the public. The idea of putting silicone into women's breasts started in Japan after World War II. Japanese prostitutes wanted to make themselves bigger for American servicemen. Japanese doctors found that transformer fluid with silicone in it was the trick. By the 50s, American showgirls and strippers were also using liquid silicone. Obvious benefit, and for some, terrible after effects. By 1962, Dow Corning had a new idea, encasing a thick gel of silicone inside a rubbery envelope. Soon, tens of thousands of women were having implants, 80% for cosmetic enlargement, 20% after mastectomy. But inside Dow, there were warning signs. This study, completed in 1970, found that 3 dogs with implants suffered chronic inflammation. But when Dow supervisors reported the study in this article, they described the normal health of the dogs.
Was that an accurate reflection of the study?
I think probably not. I think they paraphrased and summarized. Probably not a good thing to do, but with good intention.
And got it wrong.
Probably so.
But Attorney Bolton says the company's intentions over the years have been to hide any problem.
This is an example of outright fraud by Dow Corning. Internally, they are saying one thing. On the other hand, publicly, they're saying the complete opposite. It's fraud.
A key period in Dow Corning's development of breast implants was in 1975. Another company developed a new softer implant that plastic surgeons preferred. Dow Corning rushed to match it.
We had to get hot, and we had to get this product to the market. And we had to do it with haste.
Thomas Colcott was part of a company task force ordered to produce a new implant by June 1st. Memos from the task force show the pressure, each week counting down how much time was left till the deadline. Researchers tested implants on rabbits because there was concern the softer gel might bleed out of the implant into a woman's body. But the task force was also worried about meeting a schedule of trade shows and doctors' meetings.
And finally, they reduced the time span of the 90-day implant test to 80 days. And in order to have the results back in time so that they would be able to take orders at a trade show.
Wait a minute, you're saying that they cut back on a safety test for this new product to meet a market deadline?
Yes.
I mean, that's a very serious charge to make.
In these cases, that was done.
What if I were to tell you that, according to one of the employees who was a part of that task force, it was cut short to meet marketing deadlines?
That's possible. It would not have had an impact on the result.
In fact, the rabbit test showed the implants caused an inflammatory reaction. Over the next 10 years, there were a lot of complaints about the new implant. A plastic surgeon wrote about spontaneous, unexplained rupture. A Dow Corning salesman said a doctor was upset about excessive gel bleed. But Janet Van Winkle, who got her implants at that time, and who's had several implant ruptures and serious illnesses since then, says the complaints Dow Corning was getting were not passed on to her doctor.
I was told that they were safe and that they would last a lifetime and I would look great.
By 1983, how many implants had Dow Corning sold?
Oh, I don't know.
Hundreds of thousands?
Oh, I'm sure.
Hundreds.
More than that, yeah.
Which makes this memo all the more damaging. In it, a Dow Corning staffer named William Boley wrote, "I want to emphasize that to my knowledge, we have no valid long-term implant data to substantiate the safety of gels for long-term implant use." Again, that memo was written in 1983, when Dow Corning had already sold hundreds of thousands of breast implants.
There is a mistake in that memo and your interpretation of it, because that's not what he meant.
It is what he
knew
said.
better.
He was the supervisor of testing, wasn't he?
Of a particular type of testing.
It was not until 1985 that Dow Corning changed its package insert, listing for the first time the dangers of implant rupture and immune responses. Why the change? A key factor was that Dow Corning had recently lost a $1.7 million lawsuit to a woman with autoimmune disease.
Did that have anything to do with the fact that you then changed your package insert?
I'm sure that it did.
Not because of the science, but because of the fact you had been found liable in court.
That was the first litigation where the issue, that type of autoimmune issue came up. Because of that, we recognized there would be focus. We felt it was appropriate to put that kind of language in the package insert, so it was done.
As physicians, our first obligation
FDA Commissioner Kessler is cracking down on breast implants now, his agency has come under fire for not addressing safety concerns years ago. In 1982, the FDA ruled that silicone implants must meet certain standards, but it did not start requiring Dow Corning to provide safety studies until 1988. Congressman Ted Weiss is head of a House subcommittee that oversees the agency.
The policymakers in FDA have simply refused to listen to their own scientific people, and they've lost at least 10 years in addressing this problem.
Much of the reason for that delay, experts say, was political. As part of a general push for deregulation, the Reagan and Bush administrations cut back on government enforcement in the health sector. And so, after 30 years of selling silicone gel breast implants, Dow Corning now faces thousands of women who feel they've been exploited, and an estimated $2 billion in potential liability. In the last week, the company has launched a public relations blitz, naming a new chairman who will focus exclusively on the issue, and saying it may pay for women who need to get their implants removed but can't afford to do so. Robert Riley says the company must do some fence mending.
We're a scientifically oriented company. We're not a PR company. And I think this is something that today we're going to have to learn how to do.
Would you say, if you are going to fault Dow Corning, that the only area you would fault it in would be the public relations then?
Communication, yes.
But in terms of science, in terms of your product and marketing?
In terms of science, we have it. No question about it.
But women like Janet Van Winkle say a lot more than public relations is involved. She's had 12 operations because of problems with her implants and has gotten cancer and autoimmune disease. And she says, it's no coincidence.
There's no doubt in my mind that they're linked. There's too many women that have called me with the same symptoms and the same problems. We can't all be crazy.
Do you think you owe women who have gotten your implants any apology?
No, not at all. The important thing would be, from our standpoint, did we cause a problem to them? If so, I think we should do whatever we could to alleviate it. But the vast majority of women have been benefited. It's been an important device. So no, there's no apology, but there is concern.
And there is concern. If you're concerned about, if fallen women out there, if you're concerned about all this, again, talk to your doctor. It may not make sense to you, but it's worth knowing about. All right, there's one scientist out there that could possibly have a link between mercury and autism. He is going to explain He's going to explain why there's a difference, and his perfect reason for taking on that mission. His daughter. Stay tuned. It's a mysterious and devastating disorder, and it's believed to affect as many as 500,000 children in this country, including adults. But no one knows for certain what causes autism. But one theory has ignited an intense debate. Tonight, you're going to meet a scientist who wants to put that theory to the test and wants to learn more about the causes and the possible treatment for autism. And that special reason for taking on this mission is his daughter. Here's John Larson.
Kim Adams knows every word, every move by heart, because she's watched this same video thousands of times.
Mommy's birthday!
Like many diagnosed with autism, she is trapped in a world of repetition and ritual.
Kim, you want 2 braids?
For example, her father Jim knows his daughter will want 2 braids because it's Wednesday, and Kim insists on wearing 2 braids and a dress to school every Wednesday. Her need for order is extreme. Even a minute change in routine, like a spot appearing on her father's shirt, can make her world feel frighteningly out of whack.
Daddy, Mommy has his shirt now?
Every little medicine, right?
Mommy has his shirt now?
At 13 years of age, Kim is still a child who needs help with life's most basic skills. She can't brush her teeth without a list of directions, or make her bed without a series of pictures.
My little girl was diagnosed with autism at age 2.5. We were told it was a lifelong, incurable disorder. There was nothing we could do.
that it was just a matter of time until we probably have to institutionalize her. It was just absolutely crushing.
Jim and his wife Marie immediately ruled out institutionalizing Kim, and although already raising 2 other children, began doing everything they could for Kim. Special diets, special teachers, special classes. While she appeared normal, Kim couldn't speak, couldn't follow simple instructions, and made little eye contact.
Then as she got older, her anger, her tantrums, her aggression, she used to hit, kick, fight. When she was bigger, she knocked holes into our walls.
A professor of chemistry at Arizona State University by day, Jim Adams studied autism at night, learning about brain development and damage, how the brain interacts with vitamins, minerals, and metals. He sought out others concerned with the rising number of children being labeled autistic. Parents and scientists who also wondered how a condition that was diagnosed in only 1 in 100,000 children in the 1980s was 2 decades later diagnosed in as many as 1 in every 175 American children. He started hearing stories about damage done to people exposed to methylmercury, the kind found in thermometers and in polluted environments. There was the mercury spill in Japan that led to mercury-laden fish and Minamata disease, affecting many who ate the fish. He heard about pink disease, also called acrodynia, a mysterious condition that afflicted children in this country roughly 100 years ago. The symptoms included social withdrawal and lack of language. The condition disappeared almost overnight when a certain type of teething powder which contained mercury was removed from the market.
There's no doubt that the mercury in the teething powders was what caused acrodynia, and the symptoms of acrodynia were pretty similar to symptoms of autism.
What's your basic idea here? That mercury causes autism, or that it somehow makes it worse?
We think that it's a combination of a genetic susceptibility leading to a decreased ability to excrete mercury, so that these kids are not necessarily exposed to high levels of mercury, but it's simply they are the small subset of the population that have the unusual genes that they just can't excrete mercury very well.
Jim's suspicion that mercury might somehow be connected to the rise in the number of children diagnosed with autism places him at the center of one of the most hotly contested and politically charged medical debates of our time. One that has pitted activist parents against federal health officials and vaccine manufacturers, because mercury in children often comes from vaccines. Vaccines, those life-saving miracle drugs that have successfully fought back everything from polio, smallpox, and diphtheria to measles, mumps, and rubella. It began to be phased out a few years ago, but until then, most infant vaccines included something called ethyl mercury in a preservative called thimerosal. Although different from methylmercury, the kind found in pollution, ethyl mercury in high enough doses can also damage the nervous system.
Thimerosal was introduced into vaccines before the FDA even existed. It was just grandfathered in. And then as children began receiving more vaccines in the vaccination schedule, the amount they received kept growing and growing until 1999, when Congress asked the FDA to evaluate the amount of mercury in all the pharmaceutical products.
What the Food and Drug Administration discovered was that along with getting more shots, by 1992, children were also getting more mercury. The vaccines undoubtedly were protecting the children from a variety of deadly diseases, but were they also causing autism in some children? In order to answer that question, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention but were they also causing autism in some children? In order to answer that question, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention commissioned 2 reports into the issue, both of which dismissed thimerosal as the problem. Dr. Tanya Popovich is the CDC's Associate Director for Science Research.
Top-notch scientists have reviewed everything and anything that is available and have really, in their latest report, said that they reject causal association of thimerosal in vaccine and autism.
The American Academy of Pediatrics and many other scientists also reject the link between vaccines and autism. and are concerned the debate over mercury will discourage parents from vaccinating their children. But despite the stance of mainstream science, thousands of parents and even some scientists claim there is a growing body of evidence to suggest there might be a connection between mercury and autism. And they point to the benefits of a radical new treatment to help make their case.
It saved my child. It saved my child.
This mother and thousands of other parents have turned to a process called chelation.
You ready for me to dress, mister?
Chelation involves ridding the body of metals, including mercury. In its most aggressive form, it is done intravenously. But most parents give their autistic children a milder oral medication, or as in this case, a cream that is absorbed through the skin. The chelation agent binds to the mercury, which is then passed through the system. Originally approved for treating lead poisoning, there are parents who claim chelation has helped cure their children's autism.
Ladies and gentlemen, some autistic kids that have recovered.
The parents share stories and home videos of what they describe as their children's recovery. Some report their children going from agitated, repetitive behavior to simply being calmer and able to focus, from being unable to use language to being able to express themselves.
Music. Do you like to play music or do you like to sing? I like to sing music.
From almost complete withdrawal
Hey, Joshua,
to interacting with their families again.
All right. Hello. Oh, golly.
But most doctors are not buying those stories of near miraculous recovery.
The usefulness of chelation therapy in treating autism is nil.
Dr. Jay Berkelhammer is the president-elect of the American Academy of Pediatrics. Like most doctors Dateline spoke with, he pointed out the process can be dangerous. Performed intravenously, it even led to one death.
Chelation therapy is potentially toxic. The chelation materials that are used to remove these metals from the bloodstream can affect the liver, can affect the kidney.
The reason most doctors agree with the American Academy of Pediatrics is because they don't believe mercury from vaccines is the problem in the first place. They say some autistic children may just outgrow the problem or improve from behavioral and other therapies, but that autism is not cured by removing metals from a child's system.
Here's your test kit.
But despite the position of mainstream science on chelation, for Jim Adams and some other scientists, the verdict is still out.
It's a very controversial topic. There have been a number of epidemiology studies looking at it, some showing absolutely no link, some showing a very strong link. It depends, I think, very much on who does the research. I think that the most critical issue is looking at the thimerosal.
So Jim Adams has decided to do just that. Along with Dr. Matt Borrell of the Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine, an accredited school of alternative and integrated medicine, he has designed the first double-blind, placebo-controlled study of chelation.
You jump down? Boy.
The mission? To answer the question of whether chelation really works, or whether it's just the wishful thinking of desperate parents.
You've got strong feelings about the connection between mercury and autism. Are you the guy who should be doing this study? Will critics come out and say, well, here, he just proved what his suspicions were?
I think that if someone else were to do the research, I'd be thrilled. But the fact is, no one else has done it, and thousands of families are out there using it. And so, because it's pretty much the most highly ranked treatment, according to a survey of 23,000 families, I think there's a lot of good reason to do it.
Jim, you ready for your medicine?
But he already knows chelation does not work for everyone.
Great job.
Chelation did not help his daughter Kim. Perhaps, Jim says, because it was done too late.
I saw my mom.
But regardless of why it didn't work, he wants to know if chelation can help any autistic children. After all, he's not just a chemist in search of knowledge, but a father who knows the desire for a cure.
And
Thanks for reading with me.
What happens in the end after all this hard work? If you find that there really is no relation between mercury and autistic behavior, will you be disappointed?
Disappointed, yes, But whatever way it turns out, we'll report it. If it doesn't help, we'll report it. And if it does, we're going to report it too.
Jim Adams predicts he will have the final results of his study by the end of the year, and we'll have them first here on Dateline. You should know that most children under the age of 2 are now automatically given mercury-free vaccines, and parents can request those shots for their older children as well.
So could there be a link between mercury and autism? We probably won't know. But if you were to look up that link in some studies, you may find the hard answer. Which we're not going to do because, I don't know. I mean, as someone who's been diagnosed with autism since during my time, that's what I can tell you. Alright, alright. When we return our viral break, this time, we're going to test your knowledge about pencils and equations. Could you move a pencil? Can you solve this equation by moving some pencils? Stay with us. The last few viral breaks have been basically testing your knowledge. Could you move a pencil? Could you move one pencil to solve a math equation? If you haven't already tried it out, we're going to test your knowledge with this one. That's on tonight's viral break. We're talking more about equations. And you at home can participate in this. So 3 minus 4, so take a look at this equation here.
The future of your business is here. With Wix, you get advanced AI.
Kiki! Where's your brother?
So take a look at this equation. 3 minus 4 equals 1. Could that equation be correct? You can decide.
Kiki! Where's your brother? Oh, we at football practice. Alright, you wanna play a game? Move one pencil to make this equation true? You got some money? Ooh, scary. Alright, $20. For $20, all you gotta do is move one pencil to make this equation true. 3 minus 4 equals 1. So move one pencil, okay? Move a pencil.
I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do it? Your brother ain't here to save you today. Look, you got some more money? Where in your piggy bank? Go get it. Alright. Let me see how much you got. You got 60. There go 100. Yeah. They go 300. Alright, come out. Alright, move one pencil to make this equation true. Alright, if you get it right, that whole piggy bank yours. If you get it wrong, it's mine. Your brother ain't here to save you, so it's mine. So move one pencil. Come on. You don't know what to do, Skip. 5 minus 4 equals 1.
Thank you.
How about another one? Nine plus 9 equals 9. That equation is incorrect.
Is move one pencil to make the equation true. $100 to play. Now let's get it. Too easy. No, it ain't. Well, move one pencil so I can win my money. Just one pencil.
6. Let me cut that out, make that 3. 6 plus 3 equals 9.
You move 2 pencils.
And?
I told you I was gonna beat you. Thank you.
But the equation's still true.
It don't matter. It's true that I won this bet too, player.
Let's play again.
You ain't got no money to play again. You got $400 to bet
yes.
400.
Come on.
Oh, you sweet. Come on.
3.
Easy money.
4.
Put it over here about me. I can win.
Alright.
And go to the shake joint.
Whatever, Montreal Harris.
You ain't got no sense like Blueface. Now move one pencil so I can win.
Make that a 0. 9 plus 0 equals 9. Thank you. I'm glad you did call me Blueface, because I just took your Blueface.
Bro, come on, man. You just cheated. All you gotta do is...
No, he got it right. 9 plus 0 equals 9. And if you played along at home, you did a great job. Even you can do that. Even you can do it to Rachel Harris, and she might even guess the equation right or wrong. No offense to Rachel Harris. Now time for a spelling challenge with pencils. Can you spell? Could you move 2 pencils to spell another word? I basically couldn't.
Two pencils to spell another word. You think you can do it?
Yeah.
Alright, get some money down here.
Alright, $100.
Ooh, scared. Now move 2 pencils. Goofy.
Ain't that a C?
That's 1 pencil. And coot ain't a word.
You know what's a word though? Coat. C-O-A-T.
Oh nah, I forgot to tell you. April the Fools.
It ain't April the First.
It's still April, Goofy.
That don't matter. Give my money to
No,
change.
you ain't getting nothing back. I tricked you. That's what April Fools means. Don't come on my table unless you got some money on it.
I got the money.
Well, put it down.
He cheating.
I'm not cheating. Spell another word.
Okay.
$300.
Alright.
Coat was the only word, Goofy.
Are you
can
sure?
spell. I'm 100%. 1,000%. Okay. Now one more pencil. That's the last pencil. This ain't even no word. What that spell?
F-O-N-T. Fun. Thank you. You look at my apron, the fool. You the fool.
All you got to do is move 2 pencils.
Thank you. That's kind of like. Yeah, enough. Let's test your brain. 7 times 1 equals 0. That's incorrect.
To make this true. Which one of y'all think y'all can do it?
Both of us.
Okay, well, both of y'all put your money down now.
There you go right there.
2 20s. Oh, ski.
Where your money at?
Right here. Make the best move, the best move. I ain't putting that down. Move 2 pencils. I'm doing you a favor. You don't even know how to do this. I know it's hard. And making this money easy.
Somebody for you.
Bully! What it do?
Oh, no. He can't help you.
Why?
Because he ain't put his money down.
Okay, down.
You still can't help.
Even if
I made the rules.
I know much they and Katie. He still finna do you.
He ain't finna do that. Move 2 pencils, Goofy.
Alright.
That's 1 pencil. No, that ain't even no right move, Goofy. Move 1 more pencil. That's wrong. 7 minus 7 equals
0. Thank you.
Ain't no way.
Goofy.
All you got to do is move 2 pencils to make this true. Which one?
And you saw me laughing hard at one time. Thank you. Let me tell you, on this show, we love to have some fun. All right, let's take a look at this.
Ever wonder why so many people say they want to learn guitar, but very few actually learn to play? It's simple.
Oh, Daddy, I want to play.
You got some money? Oh, you got $20. Okay, then put it down there. Alright, the rule to this game is very simple. All you got to do is move 1 pencil to make this equation true, okay? So move 1 pencil.
But Dad, I don't know how to do math.
You don't know how to do math? Okay, I'm finna teach you, okay? 20 plus 20 equals 40. That means he's $40 mine, okay? Thank you. Have a good day.
Well, can I get my money back?
No, you ain't get your money back. You should have told me you know how to play before you put your money down.
Get my phone.
I don't care who you gonna get. I'll take your brother money too.
I'm gonna take.
You been scamming my little sister.
No, I ain't been scamming your little sister. She
So
lost
where
her money
is her $20 at?
in my pocket.
So give it back.
No, she played fair and square. She lost her
No,
money.
she didn't.
You must want to play.
You just told her that
I'll
she's 4
take your
years
money
old.
too. Yes, she's 4.
Okay.
How much money you got?
200. Now put it down right now.
Come on in, smart guy. I got 200. Let me let you know your little secret. Just like your little sister. It's impossible to solve this equation, okay? Impossible. So thank you for the $400. Move a pencil, Goofy. So so I can get my money gone by my business.
7 minus 1 equals 6. Thank you. Here you go.
Hey, I was just playing, man. Just give my $200 back.
Give my $200 back. Oh my God. I was playing, give my $200 back. Thank you. That is amazing. All right, take a look at this. Take a look at one more.
Hey Tech Leads, this is Monday Dev, a platform to manage your entire product development lifecycle.
I want to play.
$40.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm playing for no rats today.
I'm playing for no rats, bro. You think I can't?
Them ain't no rats, bro. Get your money up.
What is this?
Okay? $40, that's chump change, bro. I'm not playing for that.
Okay, we're gonna leave.
I don't care about no beliefs.
Okay,
Don't get him.
Then he gonna take your brain, bro.
He can take your thing, bro. Ooh, scared.
Here you go.
Ooh, the big bad belief.
But what happened this time,
Ain't
bro?
nobody scared of you. All you got to do is move what money?
I $40.
Where you put it at?
I put it right there, and I seen the handprint.
It must have failed.
How you gonna every time? Goofy. Now stop acting slow and get a boy his money back.
Why would take his money, bro, and I got no rats?
Out of anybody, you would be the one that robbed the bank.
Bro,
Real.
put your money down. You don't come over here and start talking. Put it down.
Not touching my money.
Now all you got to do is move one pencil to make this equation true. 3 minus 0 equals 8. One pencil, make your next move your best move.
That's a bet.
Shut up, cause you broke. You lost your money, and he finna lose his. Now move one pencil, Goofy.
Three minus 0 equals 3.
Bro, that's 2 pencils. He didn't win. I said one pencil, Goofy. One pencil. You don't even know how to follow directions. I ain't roll mine, but hold on. I got 40 more.
And that's 40
Where
right
that 40 come from? Bro, I got 4 pockets full like little baby.
If you bet all your money, it would be a bet.
Bro, put $40 down now.
You
Now
scamming.
move one pencil to make this equation true, Goofy.
You was not punch made there. Stop scamming.
I wish y'all would get off my table. You and your little broke friend. Hurry up. One pencil. That's it. That's it. That's the wrong pencil, Goofy. 9 minus 0 equals 9.
Facts. Scammer just scam. What happened to their job is coming light, boy.
Thank you. 99% you're gonna get this wrong.
Hey Tech Leads, this is Monday Dev, a platform to manage your entire product development lifecycle.
Alright, Malik, all you got to do is move 3 pencils to form 3 squares. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares on the table. If you can magically turn these 4 squares into 3 squares by moving 3 pencils, you win. You think you can do it?
That's super easy.
Okay, well, pull out some super easy money. Because I ain't doing
You got it all right there, so how much you bet?
I bet 200. Come on.
But I only got my ain't little dollar. I ain't little dollar.
Boy, you going broke like P did, ain't it? But you know what? I don't turn no money down.
Yeah, because all the money that you turned down are in my savings.
Bro, come on. You ain't got no savings. Spend all your money on B-Bucks, Goofy. That's 1 pencil. They go 2 pencils. 1 more pencil, Goofy.
If you ain't got 1 more square. And then that's 1, 2, 3 squares.
No.
What are you doing?
These 2 pencils has to be part of the square.
I can't even go get my soda out the corner store, but
Well, you ain't getting nothing out the corner store. You ain't getting nothing, bro. This is my money.
You cheated.
I'm not cheating.
You directly said I gotta move 3 pencils to make 3 new squares, and that's exactly what I did.
You have to use all the pencils.
If this was a assignment, I would have got 100.
Okay, you failed. You ain't got your money. Now put some more money down.
I do got them 5 though.
Oh, no, you got a lot more.
But what you doing with my bankroll?
Put it down.
How you gonna take my money in your
Bruh,
pocket?
bet. Cause you don't know how to do it. Now come on, Goofy. 3 pencils, 3 squares. Stop doing all that talking. I ain't even got time for that. I'm about my money. CJ Stroud, there's 1 pencil. There's 2 pencils. Now look, Goofy. 1, 2, 3 squares. You doing the same thing like you did last time. These 2 pencils, they gotta be part of a square, Goofy. You got one more move, Goofy.
I'm a Goofy, but I just gotta slide that over, and that's 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I might be CJ Stroud, but you must be Joe Flacco the way I just did you.
Now an impossible one.
Hey Tech Leads, this is Monday Dev, a platform to manage your entire product development lifecycle and connect everyone.
Alright. See if you can guess this equation. None of you could probably get this. But Malik can get it. Take a look.
Lee! Alright, come in here and play the game real quick.
I'm not playing 2K.
Bro, I don't care about no 2K. I'm trying to win 2K. Now put down. Let's get it. Put $20. I'll still take it. Alright, the rule to the game very simple. All you got to do is move 2 pencils to make this equation true. Triangle plus triangle equals 10.
He don't know why he laughing, because I'm gonna go play 2K.
No, you ain't. Put this down, bro.
Go get my refund.
No, this ain't Amazon. I don't do no refund. Put this down, you gotta play.
This ain't Amazon.
What is this equation?
A triangle plus a triangle.
That's the thing. Why is the triangles in this equation?
Bro, figure it out, smart guy. Ain't no way you can win. I need to win sometimes. Golly. Now thank you for my $40. That's 1 pencil. Come on, Goofy. It's 2 pencils. You move the science, bro. You down arrow plus, I don't know what that is, equal 10. That's wrong. Thank you.
Bro, play again, bro.
I finally won, Goofy. I
bet you
finally
play
won.
again.
Why you want to play again?
Because I think I can figure it out.
Bro, you can't figure this out. These are shapes and numbers. Shapes and numbers
Get
don't
that enough.
make
Get that
sense.
enough. Get that enough.
Bet. Put it
Alright,
down. Thank you. Thank you. And you ain't getting none of this money back. I promise you. And don't call me, ask me for nothing. Now move 2 pencils, make this equation true, Goofy.
Don't worry about me after that. I ain't gotta call you. You gonna be the one that's calling me.
Move 2 pencils. So I can get my money. You don't have it, bro. Only thing I got is my money. And your money.
My numeral numbers.
Watch this.
My numeral numbers.
What?
4 plus 6 equals 10. Thank you. My phone finna be ringing.
Alright. Alright, that's enough of the equations. I hope you had a lot of fun. On this broadcast, on this broadcast, we love to have fun. We love to watch some funny videos at the end of the broadcast. If you have a funny video you'd like to send in, just send me an email. Just send it to me on my Facebook, and it will be on our next Bible break. Because let's face it, we love to have a laugh every now and then, right? That's all for this edition of Give Me a Break Friday going to Saturday. We'll see you again for Give Me a Break Saturday night. And for all of us here at YouTube, and Give Me a Break, stop bullying, speak up. Concentration, not strength. No jaywalking. Have a good night.